the opponent, from Death Valley, weighing in at 305 pounds, The Undertaker.
This is WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 for the PlayStation 2. And for me, this game is equal parts awesome and tragically disappointing. Now, to start with the awesome, it includes my two favorite wrestlers of all time as unlockable legends. Now, I won't tell you who they are because I don't want to spoil the surprise of their unlockability, but suffice to say, one is excellent and the other is perfect.
I'm so happy that we have a superstar like Edge on the Raw roster. Someone who sets...
So, for me, that's the best thing about this game, and yes, I am that selfish and superficial when it comes to wrestling games, but the worst thing about this game is that it released in November of 2006, a full year before the return of the WWE's first undisputed champion, a man who is the best in the world at what he does, the one and only Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Chris Jericho. So obviously, without Jericho, this game is fundamentally less awesome than it should be. And if we handed out arbitrary review scores here at Classic Game Room, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 would automatically lose 2 of a possible 10 points based purely on its lack of Y2J. Because, as any true wrestling fan knows, 10 is Jericho. Now, if you're familiar with this annual series, you probably have a very good idea what to expect from this game. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw is ostensibly the wrestling equivalent of the Madden series. Every year you get a wrestling game which mixes wrestlers from both WWE programs, Raw and SmackDown, and at its core provides a pretty similar game of professional wrestling. Of course, like Madden, the big draw each year is typically about tweaks to the gameplay, new features, and perhaps most of all, new rosters. Only in Madden, this would be like a 90-yard penalty. So what new moves does the 2007 version of SmackDown vs. Raw bring to the mat? Well, for starters, it's got a roster of 50 WWE superstars from 2006, though given the likes of Joey Mercury and Paul Burchill, I'd hesitate to classify them all as superstars. You've also got 16 WWE legends to unlock, including my 2 favorite wrestlers of all time, and of course, a new way to control your favorite superstars. This version of SmackDown vs. Raw allows you to control your wrestler with the right analog stick instead of the face buttons during grapples. This allows players a greater feeling of control over the grappling, and it really makes transitioning between wrestling moves much smoother. In fact, looking back on it, the change seems like a no-brainer.
Oh man, these fans are fired up on the mat, shoulders down. This could be it.
The 2007 edition also gives players the ability to use their environment. You can take the fight to the crowd, you can slam your opponents into the stairs. Best of all, you can even throw them through the Spanish announcer's table, a staple of any WWE event for years. Oh, Dios mío, me duele la cabeza. Of course, once your cabeza recovers, you'll be able to enjoy all the features you've come to expect from WWE SmackDown vs. Raw. There's a season mode, there's even a general manager mode for simulation and writing storylines, though try as you might, you can't write Chris Jericho into an episode of Raw. Minus 2 points.
What the hell?
Get your damn hands off me! You are mine, dead man.
Even with that deduction, however, this game is an easy and obvious recommendation for wrestling fans. There are some pesky loading times, and you could always point out a few superstars who missed the cut, but really there's not a better wrestling franchise on the market. I would recommend the Xbox 360 version if your console situation permits it, but either way, it's all about the game and how you play it in WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
Probably come a little bit later on in the match. You decide to shut your yap for a few seconds. Booker T in the parking lot. Looks like you hit him with a pipe. No, not the pedigree on the concrete floor. Triple H is trying to take